the Pac-12 regular season title, especially because UCLA is kind of just rolling right now. But why don't we kind of move on and talk about something that is a little more encouraging to us, and that is the Arizona football team. And honestly, it still hasn't settled into me and felt normal yet that this football team actually feels promising. But this team is actually really trending in the right direction. Head coach Jedd Fisch had his virtual press conference yesterday announcing the 2021 recruiting class following National Signing Day, which was this past Tuesday. And the class, includes 18 freshmen and 9 transfers. And I think the most impressive part about this class is those kids from the transfer portal, right? That Fisch and his staff was able to reel in. I mean, not only, did he bring in here to Tucson, but they also did it in such a short span, right? It was like 2 months since he got hired and to now where we're at to now. So, like it's crazy because it feels like a good recruiting class, but that's not what it really says. At least, 247 Sports is saying that they have this class ranked as 11th in the Pac-12 and 77th nationally. And those rankings are pretty low because it does not factor in the transfers from the transfer portal. But what do you think about this recruiting class? Is this class slept on?
Yeah, I would say the normal recruiting class without the transfers is basically what it's been the last few years, 3-star guys. And but the word to me that sticks out is just the transfers. Like what he's did with the transfer class in this part of this 2021 class, just been excellent. I would give Jedd Fisch an A+ for bringing all these guys in. I mean, we know a few weeks ago it seemed like that we had no quarterbacks. They all were gone. And then what do you know? We have 3 quarterbacks. I mean, and looks like there's going to be a lot of competition, he said, going into camp next year, and which is really good. I mean, some of the guys, they seem about even. I mean, Jordan McLeod's a dual threat, and then they got Gunnar Cruz from Washington State, 6'5", big quarterback, so a little different. But the guy that got me really excited the other day was when they got picked up Jason Harris from Colorado the other day, 4-star recruit. I mean, he was at Colorado. I don't think he played that much, but he's a big kid, 6'7", 220 defensive end, and should really provide that presence that they were missing last year. I mean, just all the 9 guys, they all stick out, and they're all top level guys from top level schools, like 2 guys from Northwestern, guy from Baylor, Notre Dame. This has just been incredible, and something that, I mean, even Kevin Sumlin in 3 years couldn't even bring some of the guys of this caliber in. And as you said, within a few months, it seems like no time, the Jedd Fisch and his staff are already making big moves.
Yeah, I think if you want to weigh in the transfers, I think 11th in the conference is honestly bogus. Like, I think it would rank much higher if these transfers were weighed in, because like we mentioned, these kids from the transfer portal is what makes this class so good. I mean, not only did they bring in good players, but they brought in good players at the positions that they needed the most, right? Like you said, Jason Harris, that kid is an animal, 6'7", like. He's one of those dudes, you see him walk off the like walking out the bus, and you're like, oh my God, that kid is huge. Like their pass rush has been, atrocious for as long as I can remember. So having him, with his brother Jalen Harris, that's going to help out a ton. And the secondary was one of the thinnest position groups, up on this entire roster, and they brought in Gunnar Maldonado and former 4-star recruit Isaiah Rutherford. So like it's been great. Like Arizona, had like 5 linebackers on its scholarship last season. They were just so desperate for someone who could play well next to Anthony Pandy, and they fixed that problem too and brought in Trayshawn Hayward, who I mean that is no average recruit. Trayshawn Hayward, he was viewed as one of the top guys in this transfer portal. He was an All-American in high school, and he was the MAC Defensive Player of the Year in 2019 at Western Michigan. So this dude is nasty. He's a legit player, and he'll definitely be one of Arizona's day one starters, and he'll be making one of them immediate impact. And, when we talked about the quarterback situation as well, it seemed like, it was the end of the world when Grant Gunnell left, and then Rhett Rod left, and then Clay Mellon decommitted. And it's like, what the heck? There's like 2 quarterbacks on the roster. How are they going to fix this, right? And then, next thing you know, we've got Jordan McLeod and Gunnar Cruz, and there's a couple preferred walk-ons. Like Jedd Fisch has said, he's got a lot of people that he can count on in this quarterback room. It's a lot bigger than we seem, and he's already said that it's going to be an interesting QB battle. I think it's going to be at spring camp. I'm counting down the days to spring camp because, I think the exact quote Jedd Fisch said was he said he was just going to roll the balls out and see what happens with the quarterback situation. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, this class is going to be remembered by the transfers, and it's not just these kids are good, but they're also good for a long time. Like, these kids are young and they have a lot of years left on their eligibility as well. So I mean, yeah, like you said, A+ to Jedd Fisch. I would give him an A++. He's doing all the right moves right now, and I think this is going to be. It's still going to be a work in progress, but we will see a huge difference last year coming into this year.
Yeah, and through those transfers that they were able to get, it's going to lead to more guys in the future in the 2022, 2023, 2024 classes. Then that's where hopefully they get some 4-star recruits and get more of those in-state players. As Jedd Fisch has said multiple times, that they're focusing on securing the state of Arizona first before they go to other states. They want to get all the great players in this state and try their best to do it, and they really did that. I mean, it's just a shame that Grant Gunnell didn't come back and reconsider after some of these moves. I mean, with this defense being better, and it's just I really think this team, there was just a lot left on the table. I really think with a new coaching regime and I really still believe in Grant Gunnell and that offense, a ton of good receivers. I believe 3 of the top 4 said they're coming back. So, I mean, I really think they could have made some noise, but I mean, we'll see. Hopefully some of these guys still have something to prove. I mean, Gunnar Cruz, Arizona was one of his finalists back when he was in high school. He chose Washington State, so hopefully he can come back and do something. And for the other guys, I mean, I just hope Jedd Fisch picks a quarterback out of spring camp and leading into the season and doesn't do what I think was a mistake by Kevin Sumlin, switching the quarterbacks in and out. I mean, I don't think that ever really works. So I hope one of these guys can really step forward and become the guy of this offense and this team.
The coaching staff is just night and day compared to what it was last year and what it is now. Like, you can just see it. It's so much better. Like, Jedd Fisch, prioritizing the state of Arizona. I love that because I think there's a lot of hidden talent in the state of Arizona. I still will never forget and will never forgive Kevin Sumlin and his staff for letting Bijan Robinson and Lathan Ransom walk right out of the door when they were 5 minutes from campus. Like, I still will never forgive them for that. That was just ridiculous. That Bijan said he saw more coaches from Texas and Ohio State than he did of Arizona. I cannot get over that. So I think him prioritizing the state of Arizona is just awesome. He even said it yesterday about Jason Harris. He was like, I don't know why this kid wasn't here before I got here. So, like, he was saying we got to make sure that never happens again. So I just love the mentality. I just think he's doing everything right so far. It's kind of talk the talk, and that's what I was saying earlier about, like, right when they hired him, we know he's saying all the right things right now in these press conferences, but I just gotta wait until he actually does it. He's actually doing it. Now we just gotta see what it's gonna be like on the field, and I really am really excited for this staff. I think there's a lot of hope, a lot of promise. They got Teddy Bruschi now coming around in that coaching staff. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to see what we see on the field going forward.
Yeah, I can't wait for this upcoming football season. Has the potential to be one of the most exciting in the last 5 years in this Arizona Wildcat football team. And yeah, the coaching staff is off the charts. And I mean, I think even in year one, I mean, they're not going to get walked over like they did last year with Kevin Sumlin. I think this team is going to have more fight and more firepower and fight till the very end in each game. And I think they're going to be competitive in year one.
Yeah, why don't we go ahead and move on now to our final topic, which is centered